Hello, everybody. You're here today because deep down, you know you were not created to live an average life. You know you were not created to stay stuck, to keep repeating the same cycle, to just survive. You were born to thrive. You were born to make a difference. But to do that, you have to make a decision today to become unstoppable. I'm talking about a mindset where nothing, no obstacle, no failure, no setback can break you. I'm talking about becoming so locked in, so focused, that even when life knocks you down, you get back up swinging. You cannot truly become unstoppable until you make a decision about who you are at the deepest level. Every single day, people wake up and drift through life without a sense of direction, without clarity, without conviction. And that is why they stop at the first sign of adversity. When you don't know who you are, every opinion shakes you, every challenge breaks you, every failure convinces you that maybe you aren't good enough. That is why the very first step to becoming unstoppable is making a declaration about who you are and what you stand for. You have to get so clear on your identity that no one, and I mean no one, can make you question it. You have to get so focused on your vision that you stop living based on what other people think, what other people say, or what other people say, or what other people expect. You have to stop letting the world define you. Too many of you have been carrying labels that were never yours to begin with. Somebody told you that you were too slow, too lazy, too unqualified, too broken, and you believed them. Somebody told you that because you failed before, you will fail again. Somebody told you that because you came from a certain neighborhood, a certain family, a certain background, your story was already written for you. But here's the truth. The only person who gets to write your story is you. You get to decide who you are. You get to decide how your life will unfold. The moment you make that decision, everything changes. You no longer walk through life reacting. You start acting with intention. Becoming unstoppable starts with looking yourself in the mirror and asking the hard questions. Who am I? What do I believe in? What do I want my life to stand for? What is my purpose? And you have to answer honestly, because until you know who you are, you will always be chasing other people's approval. You will always be trying to fit in, always trying to be liked, always trying to be what everyone else wants you to be. But when you know who you are, you stop chasing people. You start attracting the right people. You stop chasing opportunity. You start creating them. You stop living on accident. You start living on purpose. Some of you have been living your whole life with someone else's definition of success. Maybe it was your parents who told you what job you should get, what career you should choose, how you should live. Maybe it was your friends who made you feel like you had to be a certain way to be accepted. Maybe it was society that convinced you you're supposed to take a certain path because that's what everyone else is doing. And because of that, you've been living small, living safe, living stuck. Becoming unstoppable means you take back the pen and rewrite the script. It means you stop living their dream and start living yours. When you decide who you are, you give yourself permission to go after what you really want. Not what's convenient, not what's easy, not what everyone else thinks you should want, but what sets your soul on fire. When you make that decision, something inside you ignites. You start waking up with energy. You start moving with confidence. You start making choices that align with your destiny. And yes, some people will not like it. Some people will try to pull you back into the box you just broke out of. Some people will tell you you've changed, and you have. That's the point. You weren't put on this earth to stay the same. You were put here to grow, to evolve, to rise into the highest version of yourself. The moment you define who you are, your problems don't disappear, but your power over them grows. You stop being shaken so easily because you know where you're going. Life will still hit you. Life will still test you. But when you know who you are, you stop questioning if you're capable. You stop wondering if you're enough. You stop backing down because you know you are built for this. Your identity becomes your anchor. It holds you steady when the storms come. It keeps you grounded when things get chaotic. Think about the people you admire the most, the ones who inspire you, the ones you call unstoppable. They are unstoppable because life was easy for them. They're unstoppable because they decided who they were and refused to let anything or anyone change that decision. They decided what they wanted. They decided why they wanted it. And then they built their lives around that decision. That is what you have to do. You can't just say it once and forget about it. You have to remind yourself every single day. Write it down. Speak it out loud. Affirm it until it becomes part of your DNA, because every day the world is going to try to make you forget. Every day the world is going to try to convince you to settle, to stop, to quit. But when you have decided who you are, nothing can stop you. You have to become so committed to your vision that you're willing to lose people over it. You're willing to be misunderstood. You're willing to stand alone if you have to, because this is your life, not theirs. And here's the thing. The moment you start living authentically, you will stop attracting people who want you to play small. You will start attracting the right people, the ones who support you, the ones who push you, the ones who see the greatness inside of you. And that will make your journey even more powerful. Deciding who you are is not about being perfect. It's not about having everything figured out. It's about having the courage to start. It's about saying, I may not know exactly how I'm going to get there, but I know this is where I'm meant to go. And then taking that first step, and the next, and the next. That's how you build more momentum. That's how you build confidence. That's how you become unstoppable, by first deciding who you are, and then living every day in alignment with that decision. When you finally decide who you are, you will no longer need other people to validate you. You will no longer be chasing likes, chasing attention, chasing applause. You will no longer be controlled by fear, by doubt, by rejection. You will wake up with peace because you are finally living in truth. And when you live in truth, you become powerful. You become unshakable. You become unstoppable. Your mind is the control center for everything you will ever do. And if you want to become unstoppable, you have to master it. Too many people are prisoners of their own thoughts. They wake up every morning with dreams in their heart, but doubts in their mind. And because the mind is not trained, the doubt always wins. They think about what could go wrong, what might not work, what people would say if they fail. And that fear paralyzes them before they even take the first step. You have to understand that your mind can either be your greatest weapon or your greatest weakness. If you allow negative thoughts to dominate, you will talk yourself out of opportunities. You will sabotage your own success. You will settle for less than you are capable of achieving. But when you learn to control your thoughts, when you discipline your mind to focus on what is possible instead of what is painful, you become dangerous. Everything starts in the mind. Before you build a business, before you write a book, before you create anything in the world, you first create it in your thoughts. That's why people who cannot see themselves winning will never win. People who cannot see themselves healed will never heal. People who cannot imagine a better life will never create one. The battle starts with what you allow yourself to think about. If you keep focusing on what went wrong in the past, you will keep repeating it. If you keep meditating on fear, fear will grow. Whatever you focus on expands. So if you want to become unstoppable, you have to feed your mind with the right thoughts, the right images, the right beliefs every single day. This is not easy because your mind has been conditioned for years to think a certain way. Maybe you grew up hearing that money is hard to make, that people like you don't get ahead, that life is unfair, that you should just be grateful for what you have and not want more. Those thoughts have been on repeat in your head for so long that you think they are true. But here's the truth. Just because a thought shows up in your head doesn't make it real. You have to challenge every thought that does not align with your purpose. When the thought says you can't do it, you ask, well, why not me? When the thought says you're not ready, you remind yourself that no one ever feels fully ready, but winners act anyway. When the thought says you might fail, you answer back and say, even if I do, I will get up stronger. That's how you take control of your mind, by refusing to accept every thought that crosses it. You have to start being intentional about what you let into your mental space. Your mind is like a garden. If you don't plant the right seeds, weeds will grow by default. If you spend all day consuming negativity, scrolling through drama, listening to people complain, your mind will be full of weeds, and weeds choke out growth. You have to plant seeds of faith, seeds of gratitude, seeds of vision. You do this by reading books that inspire you, listening to messages that lift you up, surrounding yourself with people who think bigger. You have to do this every single day because the mind will always drift back to its old patterns if you don't train it. Mastering your mind also means learning how to manage your emotions. You cannot become unstoppable if you are always reacting to how you feel. Some days you won't feel like working. Some days you won't feel like being disciplined. Some days you won't feel like showing up. But unstoppable people have trained their mind to override their emotions. They don't let temporary feelings make permanent decisions. They do what they said they would do, regardless of how they feel in the moment. They have learned how to take a deep breath, calm themselves down, and get back to the mission. When you reach that point, when you can control yourself in the storm, you become unshakable. Another part of mastering the mind is learning to visualize success. Your brain does not know the difference between something you vividly imagine and something that actually happens. When you see yourself succeeding in your mind over and over again, your brain starts creating pathways to make that success real. That's why athletes visualize themselves making a shot before they take it. That's why entrepreneurs imagine their business thriving before it's even launched. You have to get into the habit of closing your eyes and seeing the life you want as if it's already done. Feel it, taste it, believe. Taste it, believe it. When you do this consistently, you will start making decisions in alignment with that future. You will start acting like the person you want to become. You also have to protect your mental energy from people who drain it. Some of you keep letting negative people dump their trash in your mind. Every time you get around them, they talk about why life is hard, why nothing ever works, why you should give up. And then you wonder why you feel heavy, why you feel uninspired. You have to be ruthless about who gets access to your mental space. If they aren't helping you grow, if they aren't challenging you to think bigger, if they aren't speaking life into you, you have to limit their influence. Your mind is too valuable to let just anyone shape it. There will be moments when fear creeps in no matter how strong your mindset is. That's normal. The key is not to let fear drive the car. You can acknowledge it, you can feel it, but you don't have to obey it. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is taking action despite fear. Every time you push through fear, you teach your mind that fear does not control you. Every time you step out of your comfort zone, you reprogram your brain to expect growth instead of danger. This is how confidence is built. One brave decision at a time. And remember, your mind is not something you conquer once and never have to work on again. It's a lifelong process. You have to train it daily, just like you train your body. You have to renew it, challenge it, stretch it. There will be days you slip back into old patterns. That's okay. Catch yourself and get back on track. The more you practice, the stronger your mental discipline becomes, and the less power those old thoughts have over you. When you finally master your mind, you will stop sabotaging yourself. You will stop quitting when things get hard. You will stop letting fear decide your future. You will wake up with focus. You will go through the day with clarity. You will go to bed with peace. And most importantly, you will no longer wait for circumstances to line up before you move forward. You will create the life you want with the power of your thoughts. That is what makes you unstoppable. Discipline is the difference between those who talk about greatness and those who live it. Motivation is good, but motivation is a feeling, and feelings come and go. Some days you'll wake up excited, ready to go, ready to take on the world, but what about the days when you don't? What about the days when you're tired, when nothing seems to be working, when you just want to stay in bed? That's where discipline comes in. Discipline is showing no matter how you feel. Discipline is doing what you say you would do long after the mood you set it in has left you. Discipline is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. And without it, all you'll ever have are dreams with no results. If you want to become unstoppable, you have to make discipline your best friend. That means setting a standard for yourself and refusing to break it. You don't just work hard when people are watching. You work hard when no one knows, when no one cares, when no one is applauding you. You get up early, you stay up late, you put in the reps, you make the sacrifices because you know what you're building is bigger than the temporary comfort you are. The truth is most people know what they need to do. They just don't do it consistently. They start and stop, and wonder why they never see progress. Discipline breaks that cycle. Discipline says, I don't care if I feel like it or not. I'm doing it anyway. Discipline is also about focus. You cannot give your energy to everything and expect to win. There will always be distractions, temptations, opportunities to waste time. Becoming unstoppable means you get laser focused on what matters most and cut out everything that doesn't. That might mean turning off the TV, putting your phone down, saying no to hanging out, saying no to shortcuts, saying no to the easy way. It means building habits that support your future instead of destroying it. It means structuring your day so that success becomes inevitable. When you are disciplined, you don't leave life up to chance. You create a system that keeps you locked in, even when your feelings try to pull you out. There's a misconception that discipline is restrictive, that it takes the joy out of life. But the truth is, discipline is what gives you freedom. Think about it. When you are undisciplined, your life is chaotic. You're constantly putting out fires because you didn't plan ahead. You're constantly stressed because you procrastinated. You're constantly frustrated because you keep breaking the promises you made to yourself. But when you live with discipline, you are free from guilt, free from regret, free from the anxiety that comes from not doing what you know you should do. Discipline allows you to look yourself in the mirror and feel proud because you know you gave your best. One of the hardest parts about building discipline is getting through the beginning stages. When you first start waking up earlier, when you first start eating cleaner, when you first start working out, when you first start grinding on that business or that dream, your mind and body will resist you. It will feel uncomfortable. It will feel unnatural. That's where most people quit, right before the breakthrough. You have to push through that phase until discipline becomes a habit. And once it becomes a habit, it actually gets easier. You no longer have to fight yourself every day because it becomes part of who you are. That's why you see top athletes train even in the off season. Why you see high performers stick to their routines no matter what. Because their discipline has become automatic. Another key to relentless discipline is accountability. Some of you struggle with consistency because you only answer to yourself. And it's too easy to let yourself off the hook. You need to set up systems that force you to stay on track. Tell someone your goal. Post your progress publicly. Get a mentor or coach who will check in on you. Put reminders in your environment. Make it harder to quit than to keep going. The more you raise the stakes, the more likely you are to stay disciplined, especially on the days when your willpower is low. Relentless discipline also means not negotiating with excuses. Excuses will show up every single day. Too tired, too busy, too stressed, too late, too early. If you give in to one, you will give in to another. And soon your whole standard is compromised. You have to make a decision that you will not give yourself an out. When you said you would do it, you do it. When you said you would be there, you show up. When you said you would finish, you finish. The more you keep promises to yourself, the stronger your discipline become, and the more unstoppable you become. And let's be honest, discipline is not always glamorous. It's not always fun. Most of the work that leads to success happens in the dark, far away from applause. It's waking up at 4:30 a.m. while everyone else is asleep. It's staying late at the gym. It's reading when you'd rather watch TV. It's studying when you'd rather scroll on. It's working on your craft while everyone else is partying. That's why most people never achieve greatness, because greatness hides behind discipline. But if you can learn to embrace that grind, if you can learn to find satisfaction in doing the hard thing, you will separate yourself from the pack. Discipline also requires patience. We live in a world that wants everything fast. Fast money, fast results, fast success. But true, lasting success takes time. You can't plant a seed today and expect a tree tomorrow. You have to keep watering it, keep nurturing it, keep showing up even when you don't see results yet. Discipline says, now we'll stay the course until the harvest comes. And when the harvest does come, when you finally reap the rewards of all that hard work, you will look back and be grateful that you stayed consistent. Relentless discipline will make you unstoppable because it makes you dependable. People will know they can count on you. You will know you can count on yourself. You will no longer be a slave to moods, to distractions, to setbacks. You will be in control. And when you are in control of yourself, nothing outside of you can stop you. Not the economy, not the critics, not the competition. Because you know that no matter what happens, you will show up and do the work. The truth is, discipline is not punishment. It is preparation. Every time you choose discipline over comfort, you are preparing yourself for the opportunities that are coming. You are preparing yourself to carry the weight of your dreams. You are preparing yourself to handle the success when it shows up. Without discipline, success will crush you because you won't have the character to sustain it. With discipline, success will multiply because you will know how to manage it. When you finally make discipline a non-negotiable part of your life, everything changes. Your health improves, your mindset sharpens, your relationships get better, your productivity goes through the roof. You stop wasting time. You stop doubting yourself. You stop living in cycles of start and stop. You start seeing real progress. And that progress fuels you to keep going. And before you know it, you build a life you don't need to escape from because you build it brick by brick, day by day, through relentless discipline. That's how you become unstoppable. Not by waiting for motivation to strike, not by wishing for an easier path, but by showing up with discipline every single day and refusing to stop until the work is done. Once you master that, nothing can hold you back. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. Stop waiting until everything lines up, until you feel ready, until the timing feels right, because that day may never come. Perfection is a trap that keeps people from starting, and starting is the only way you will ever create momentum. If you want to become unstoppable, you have to learn to commit to the process, not just the outcome. Most people love the idea of success, but they don't love the work it takes to get there. They want the trophy without the training, the results without the grind, the applause without the sacrifice. But the ones who actually win, the ones who rise to the top, are the ones who show up every single day regardless of how they feel and keep putting one foot in front of the other. The process is not always exciting. It's not always glamorous. Sometimes it's boring. Sometimes it's frustrating. Sometimes it feels like nothing is happening, but you have to stay locked in anyway, because every day you show up, you are planting seeds. Every rep, every hour, every ounce of effort is a deposit in your future. Just because you don't see the harvest yet doesn't mean it's not coming. Success is not built in a day. It is built daily. You have to wake up and work even when no one is cheering, even when no one is watching, even when no one believes in you. There will be days you want to quit. There will be days when you question whether all this effort is worth it. That's when you have to remind yourself why you started. That's when you have to lean on your vision and keep going. The process will test you. It will stretch you. It will expose every weakness you have. And that is a good thing, because the process is not just about achieving a goal. It is about becoming the kind of person who can handle that goal once it arrives. Every obstacle you face is shaping you. Every challenge is preparing you. Every setback is teaching you something that will make you stronger. Committing to the process means being consistent even when the results are invisible. It means trusting that the small things you do daily will add up over time. People often overestimate what they can do in a week and underestimate what they can do in a year of focused work. If you want to transform your life, stop obsessing over instant results and start asking yourself, what can I do today that moves me one step closer? Then do that every single day. Before you know it, those steps turn into miles, and those miles turn into a life you once only dreamed about. You have to understand that the process is not supposed to feel easy. Growth is uncomfortable by design. If you are comfortable, you are not growing. The process will force you out of your comfort zone, and that's exactly where you need to be. You have to get comfortable being uncomfortable. You have to embrace the grind, the sweat, the early mornings, the late nights, the moments when you are exhausted, but keep going anyway. That is where champions are made, in the moments no one else sees. Most people give up too soon. They start something, and the moment it gets hard, they stop. They try for a few weeks, a few months, and when they don't see big results, they say it's not working. But what they don't realize is that the process was working. They just didn't stay with it long enough. You can't dig up the seed every week to check if it's growing. You have to water it, you have to nurture it, you have to give it time. Committing to the process means you decide in advance that quitting is not an option. You decide that you will keep showing up until, not unless. Committing to the process also requires humility. You have to be willing to be bad before you are good, willing to fail before you succeed, willing to look foolish before you look brilliant. Everyone wants to skip the learning curve, but that curve is what builds your character. You have to be willing to start small, to make mistakes, to take losses, because that's how you learn. Every master was once a beginner who refused to quit. Every expert you admire got there by committing to the process long before they were ready. There's power in routine. When you commit to a daily process, you eliminate the need to negotiate with yourself. You don't wake up asking, should I work today? You just work. You don't ask, should I practice today? You just practice. It becomes automatic. Your habits carry you when your motivation fails you. That's why you see the best in the world practicing even when they're already great, because they know the process is what keeps them sharp. And yes, the process can be lonely at times. You will outgrow people. You will have to make sacrifices that others aren't willing to make. You will miss parties. You will miss events. You will miss moments of instant gratification because you are building something bigger. People may not understand. They may even laugh at you. But one day those same people will ask how you did it. And you will be able to look back and say you stayed faithful to the process even when it was hard. Committing to the process also teaches you patience. In a world that moves fast, where everyone wants shortcuts, you have to be willing to take the long road. You have to be willing to grind year after year if that's what it takes. The longer the process, the deeper the roots, and the deeper the roots, the stronger the tree. That means when storms come, you won't be shaken. You'll stand tall because you were built on consistency, not convenience. Not convenience. The process will reward you if you stay with it. There will come a day when the work you put in starts to pay off, when the doors begin to open, when the opportunities start to find you. And when that day comes, you will be grateful you didn't quit. You will be grateful you didn't take shortcuts. You will be grateful you stayed disciplined because you will know you earned it. Becoming unstoppable is not about one big moment. It's about thousands of small, faithful moments where you choose to work over the excuse, the vision over the distraction, the long-term win over the short-term comfort time. It's about getting up every day and saying, I will not waste this day. I will not let my feelings dictate my actions. I will stay locked in. I will trust the process. When you commit to the process, you stop living for quick highs and start building a legacy. You stop being tossed around by circumstances and start creating your own momentum. You stop giving up when it gets hard because you realize that hard is part of the journey. And when you get to the other side of that process, when you finally see the results of your persistence, you will not only have achieved your goal, you will have become a different person, stronger, wiser, more disciplined, more resilient. That is what makes you unstoppable. The world is full of people who start things but never finish. They set goals at the beginning of the year. They make promises to themselves. They talk about what they're going to do. But somewhere along the way, they quit. Being unstoppable means you develop the ability to follow through no matter what. When you say you are going to do something, you do it, even when it's inconvenient, even when it's uncomfortable, even when it costs you more time, energy, and effort than you thought it would. Following through is what separates those who dream from those who achieve. It's the difference between potential and performance. Many people have talent, many have ideas, but very few take consistent action long enough to see those ideas become reality. To become unstoppable, you must build the muscle of finishing what you start. Following through requires a mindset shift. Most people stop when they hit resistance because they think resistance means something is wrong. In reality, resistance is proof you're moving toward growth. You must train yourself to expect resistance and to see it as an invitation to keep going rather than a sign to stop. You can't just be committed when things are easy. Anybody can do that. True commitment shows up when things get hard. When the excitement wears off, when the results are slow, when nobody is clapping for you, that's when you find out if you're really committed. Being unstoppable means you have a level of integrity with yourself where your work matters. If you tell yourself you're going to work out 5 days a week, you do it. If you tell yourself you're going to start that business, you take action daily until it happens. You stop breaking promises to yourself because every time you break a promise to yourself, you weaken your confidence and trust in your own ability. Every big goal you have will demand more from you than you expected at first. It will take more time, more sacrifice, and more patience than you thought it would. Following through means being willing to keep showing up day after day, even when progress is slow. Success is not about one big moment. It's about hundreds of small moments where you chose not to quit. It's about the mornings you got up and worked when you felt tired, the nights you stayed focused when distractions were calling your name, the times you tried again after failing. This consistency compounds over time. Most people give up right before they are about to break through, not realizing that all the work they have done is about to pay off. You must be the kind of person who refuses to stop, who refuses to give up no matter how long it takes. There will be days when you won't feel like doing the work, and those days matter the most. Anyone can work when they feel motivated. That doesn't make you special. What makes you unstoppable is doing the work when you don't feel like it. Your feelings can't dictate your actions if you want to succeed. You must learn to act your way into feeling rather than wait until you feel like acting. This means building habits and routines that make success automatic. If you rely only on willpower, you will eventually burn out. But if you create systems and standards for yourself, you make it easier to stay on track. For example, set a time every day where you work on your craft, non-negotiable. Don't wait until you feel inspired. Just do it because it's who you are. The more you follow through, the more you reinforce the identity of being someone who finishes what they start. Another key to following through is removing excuses. People who quit always have a reason. They say they don't have time, they don't have resources, they don't have support. But being unstoppable means finding a way anyway. If you don't have time, you make time by cutting out distraction. If you don't have resources, you get creative with what you do have. If you don't have support, you encourage yourself and keep going until support shows up. Excuses might make you feel better in the moment, but they will keep you stuck. Owning your choices and taking full responsibility for your results puts you back in control. You can't control every obstacle, but you can control how you respond. You also have to be patient with the process. Following through doesn't mean everything happens overnight. It means you keep going until you get the result, however long that takes. The world rewards those who stay the course. You can't plant a seed and dig it up every week to see if it's growing. You must keep watering it, keep taking care of it, and trust that eventually it will grow. The same is true for your goals. Trust the process, keep working, and allow time to do its part. Patience is a form of strength. It allows you to endure the waiting season without losing your drive. Sometimes following through will require you to get back up after a failure. You will make mistakes. You will fall short, and you will have days where you don't meet your own standard. Being unstoppable doesn't mean being perfect, it means refusing to stay down. Every failure is a lesson that makes you stronger if you're willing to learn from it. Most people take failure as a signal to quit, but the unstoppable see failure as feedback. They analyze what went wrong and make adjustments, and they try again with more wisdom. This mindset keeps you moving forward no matter what happens. Another aspect of following through is accountability. Tell someone you trust about your goals so they can hold you to your word. When you know someone is watching, you raise your standard. Even better, surround yourself with people who are also committed to following through. The environment you're in plays a huge role in whether you stay consistent. If you hang around quitters, you'll be tempted to quit. If you hang around people who push through no matter what, you'll be inspired to do the same. The truth is, following through is rare, and that's why it's so powerful. Most people are good at starting but terrible at finishing. If you can become the kind of person who follows through, you will stand out in every area of life. Employers notice it, clients notice it, friends and family notice it. You become known as someone who can be counted on. Opportunities will come to you because people trust you to deliver. That's what being unstoppable looks like. Your results speak louder than your words. When you make following through a non-negotiable part of your life, you no longer wonder if you will succeed. It's only a matter of when. You stop being at the mercy of circumstances and start creating the life you want through consistent, intentional action. Every step you take, no matter how small, is proof that you're committed. Eventually, all those steps add up to something extraordinary. The world opens up for people who refuse to stop. Being unstoppable requires you to master your mindset because everything you do begins in your mind. The way you think determines the way you act, and the way you act determines the results you get. If your thinking is weak, negative, or full of doubt, your actions will reflect that weakness. If you're thinking is strong, focused, and full of belief, your actions will be powerful and consistent. Mindset is the foundation of everything. You cannot build an extraordinary life on a weak mental foundation. The first step to developing an unstoppable mindset is becoming aware of the thoughts that run through your mind every day. Most people live on autopilot, allowing old fears, old doubts, and old limiting beliefs to control them without even realizing it. You must become conscious of the way you talk to yourself. You must pay attention to whether your inner dialogue's building you up or tearing you down. To become unstoppable, you must refuse to allow negative thoughts to run unchecked. When a thought of doubt comes, I can't do this, or this is too hard, I'm not ready, you must catch and challenge it. Ask yourself if it's true or if it's just fear speaking. Fear will try to convince you to stay where it's safe, but you cannot live by fear if you want to grow. Fear is not a signal to stop. It's a signal that you're doing something that matters. Learn to act even when you feel fear. Courage is not the absence of fear, it's moving forward despite it. The more you do this, the more you train your brain to push past fear and doubt automatically. Another part of mastering your mindset is choosing what you focus on. Your mind is like a garden. Whatever you focus on grows. If you focus on problems, the problems get bigger. If you focus on possibilities, your creativity and resourcefulness grow. Train yourself to look for solutions rather than excuses. Train yourself to see opportunity where other people only see obstacles. Every challenge carries a lesson or a gift, but you must have the right mindset to see it. People with a strong mindset are not easily shaken because they believe that no matter what happens, they will find a way. This belief keeps them calm under pressure and allows them to think clearly while others panic. You must also protect your mind from negative influences. The content you consume, the conversations you have, and the people you spend time with all shape your mindset. If you constantly consume negative news, gossip, and drama, it will fill your mind with fear, doubt, and anger. If you surround yourself with negative people who complain all the time, eventually you will start to complain too. Becoming unstoppable means being intentional about what you allow into your mental space. Read books that challenge you to grow. Listen to podcasts that inspire you. Spend time with people who are ambitious, disciplined, and positive because their energy will push you to rise to their level. Another critical part of mastering your mindset is learning to control your emotion rather than letting them control you. There will be moments when you feel angry, frustrated, sad, or discouraged. And if you allow those emotions to dictate your behavior, they will derail your progress. Emotional discipline is a superpower. It allows you to stay focused on what matters even when you don't feel like it. It allows you to respond rather than react. The next time you feel triggered or upset, pause, take a breath, and remind yourself of the bigger picture. Ask yourself whether reacting emotionally will move you closer to your goal or farther away. Most of the time, it will move you farther away. Staying calm and focused under pressure is what allows you to keep taking action when others get stuck. Your mindset also determines how you see failure. People with a weak mindset see failure as final, as proof that they are not good enough. People with a strong mindset see failure as feedback. They use it as information to improve. Every time something doesn't work, they ask, oh, what can I learn from this? How can I adjust? This mindset allows them to keep moving forward no matter how many times they fall. Failure becomes a stepping stone instead of a wall. The more you adopt this way of thinking, the less power failure has over you. It becomes just another part of the process instead of something to fear. One powerful tool for building a strong mindset is visualization. Elite athletes use this technique all the time. Before they step on the field, they see themselves performing at their best in their mind. They imagine what success feels like, looks like, sounds like. You can do the same thing. Take a few minutes each day to visualize yourself achieving your goals. See yourself doing the work with confidence. See yourself overcoming obstacles. See yourself crossing the finish line. This mental rehearsal programs your brain to act as if success is inevitable. And when your brain believes it's possible, your body follows. The words you speak shape the way you think. If you constantly say negative things like, I'll never make it, or I'm just not good at this, your brain will start to accept those statements as true. Instead, speak words that align with the person you want to become. Say, I am disciplined. I am focused. I am capable of doing hard things. At first, it may feel strange, but the more you repeat it, the more your brain believes it. And when your brain believes it, you start to act in alignment with that belief. Developing an unstoppable mindset also means being adaptable. Life will not always go according to plan. There will be setbacks, unexpected challenges, and detours. People with a rigid mindset fall apart when things don't go their way. People with a strong mindset stay flexible. They adjust their approach while staying committed to the outcome. They don't waste time complaining about what they can't control. They focus on what they can control. This ability to pivot keeps them moving forward while others stay stuck. Consistency is the final ingredient. You can't build a strong mindset overnight. It takes daily effort. You must practice catching negative thoughts every day. You must practice gratitude every day. You must practice focus every day. The brain is like a muscle. The more you train it, the stronger it gets. Over time, positive thinking becomes your default mode. Just like strength training makes lifting weights easier over time. You will notice that challenges don't shake you as much, that fear doesn't stop you like it used to, that you recover from setbacks faster. That's when you know you are becoming truly unstoppable. When you master your mindset, you no longer need motivation from the outside because you are driven from within. You stop waiting for someone to push you because you've learned to push yourself. You stop being controlled by circumstances because you've learned to control your perspective. No matter what happens, you keep moving forward because your mind refuses to quit. That's what makes you unstoppable. Not that life is easy, but that you are mentally unshakable. Once you reach this level, there's nothing anyone can do to stop you from reaching your goals because you have already won the battle in your mind. Energy is everything when it comes to becoming unstoppable. You can have all the goals, all the plans, and all the dreams in the world, but if you don't have the energy to execute them, they stay on paper. Energy is what fuels your actions. You're disciplined and you're persistent. Without it, even the most motivated person burns out. That's why managing and protecting your energy is one of the most important things you can do if you want to keep going no matter what. Too many people try to run on empty, pushing themselves without ever stopping to recharge. They grind until they collapse. And then they wonder why they can't stay consistent. The truth is, consistency requires energy. Focus requires energy. Creativity requires energy. Becoming unstoppable means learning how to keep your energy tank full so you can keep showing up with power every single day. The first step to managing your energy is taking care of your body. Your body is the vehicle that carries you through life. And if it's running poorly, it doesn't matter how strong your mindset is. Eventually, it will slow you down. Fuel your body with the right foods that give you energy instead of draining it. Eat whole, nutrient-dense meals that help you stay sharp and focused. Drink enough water because dehydration can make you tired and sluggish without you even realizing it. Move your body daily. Not just for appearance, but because physical activity creates energy. A strong body supports a strong mind. And when your physical energy is high, everything else becomes easier. Sleep is another critical part of energy management. Many people wear lack of sleep like a badge of honor, as if staying up late and waking up early automatically makes them productive. But if you are running on 4 or 5 hours of sleep consistently, you are not operating at your best. Your brain needs sleep to recover. Your body needs sleep to repair. And your emotions need sleep to reset. When you are well rested, you think more clearly. You make better decisions. And you are far more resilient under stress. Becoming unstoppable is not about burning yourself out. It's about creating a rhythm where you can perform at a high level day after day, week after week, year after year. Another important factor in protecting your energy is managing your mental environment. Stress is one of the biggest drains on energy, and much of it comes from things we allow into our lives unnecessarily. Constantly checking your phone, doom scrolling on social media, arguing with negative people, consuming bad news. All of this chips away at your mental energy. If you want to stay unstoppable, you must be intentional about where your attention goes. Your attention is like a battery. Everything you focus on either charges it or drains it. Spend time on things that inspire and motivate you, that push you toward your goals. Cut back on things that fill you with fear, worry, or anger. You don't have to let every notification, every email, every piece of bad news into your mind. Protect your peace. Peace creates power. Managing your energy also means managing your relationships. Some people give you energy when you're around them, and some people drain it. Pay attention to how you feel after spending time with certain individuals. If you constantly feel drained, discouraged, or small after interacting with someone, you need to set boundaries. Being unstoppable doesn't mean saying yes to everyone and everything. It means prioritizing your mission and protecting the emotional energy you need to carry it out. Surround yourself with people who challenge you, inspire you, and make you better. The right environment will feed your energy while the wrong one will starve it. Another key to staying energized is finding joy in what you do. When you enjoy the process, it doesn't feel like work, and you naturally have more energy to keep going. This doesn't mean you'll love every moment. Some parts of the journey will be hard, but you can find meaning and purpose in the hard parts too. Remember why you started. Remind yourself of the vision you are working toward. When your why is strong enough, it fuels you through the difficult days. Passion creates energy, and energy sustains persistence. You must also learn how to recharge before you hit empty. Too many people wait until they are completely exhausted to rest. By point, recovery takes much longer. Build recovery into your schedule regularly. Take short breaks during the day to breathe and reset. Take time off to rest your mind and body when you need it. This is not weakness. Unstoppable people in the world know how to step back and recharge so they can come back even stronger. Even machines need maintenance, and so do you. Another way to keep your energy high is through gratitude and perspective. Negativity drains energy faster than almost anything else. When you focus only on what's wrong, what's missing, and what's not working, you feel heavy and tired. Gratitude shifts your focus to what's good, what's working, and what you've already accomplished. This doesn't mean you ignore problems, but it means you refuse to let them consume you. A grateful mind is a powerful mind. It creates a sense of abundance that gives you the strength to keep going. Start each day by reminding yourself of what you are thankful for. It will put you in a state of energy and possibility instead of lack and frustration. Managing energy also means aligning your actions with your values. When you live out of alignment, when you do things you don't believe in, when you stay in situations that go against who you really are, it drains you. It's exhausting to pretend, to compromise, to settle. Living authentically gives you energy because you are no longer fighting yourself. You are no longer wasting energy being someone you're not. That energy can now go toward your goals and dreams. Consistency and small daily practices will keep your energy levels steady. Something as simple as starting your day with movement, drinking water, taking a few deep breaths, or writing down your priorities can set the tone for the entire day. Avoid starting your day in chaos, rushing, checking emails, scrolling social media, because that puts you in a reactive state. Begin your day intentionally, so you are directing your energy instead of wasting it on distractions. Finally, to truly manage your energy and remain unstoppable, you must learn to let go of what you can't control. Worry is one of the greatest thieves of energy. It takes your focus away from action and leaves you mentally and emotionally drained. Whenever you catch yourself worrying about something outside your control, shift your focus back to what you can do. Action creates momentum, and momentum creates energy. By staying in motion, you prevent yourself from getting stuck in cycles of overthinking and anxiety. When you make energy management a priority, everything else improves. You show up more focused, more disciplined, and more determined. You recover faster from setbacks because you are not running on empty. You are able to go the distance because you have built the stamina for it. That's what being unstoppable is about. Not just going hard for a short burst of time, but sustaining your drive for the long haul. Energy is the fuel that keeps the fire burning. And when you protect and grow that energy, there is no limit to what you can achieve. Becoming unstoppable is not just about winning for yourself. It's about lifting others as you climb. True greatness is measured not only by what you accomplish, but by the impact you have on the people around you. When you operate from a place of service, you create a ripple effect that goes far beyond your own life. Helping others doesn't take away from your journey, it multiplies it. It gives deeper meaning to everything you do. If your success benefits only you, it ends with you. But if your success opens doors for others, it continues long after you're gone. Becoming unstoppable means building a legacy. And a legacy is built by pouring into others, by inspiring them, by showing them what is possible, and by leaving something behind that makes the world better. Helping others starts with setting an example. People are always watching, even when you don't realize it. The way you carry yourself, the way you handle adversity, the way you stay disciplined, it all sends a message. When you refuse to quit, you show others that quitting isn't the only option. When you keep showing up with integrity and excellence, you raise the standard for everyone around you. Your actions give others permission to believe in themselves. You might not even know whose life you're impacting, but someone is watching you and saying, if they can do it, maybe I can too. This is why staying consistent matters. It's bigger than you. Another way you help others is by sharing what you've learned. The struggles you have overcome, the lessons you have learned, the mistakes you have made, they are not just for you. They are tools you can give to others to help them avoid the same pitfalls. Many people are struggling in silence, looking for someone to show them the way. Your story could be the key that unlocks their next step. Don't be afraid to be transparent about where you've been and how you got through it. Your vulnerability can be someone else's lifeline. Supporting others doesn't always mean giving money or resources. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can give is encouragement. A kind word at the right time can change someone's entire day. Believing in someone when they don't yet believe in themselves can light a fire in them. Becoming unstoppable means using your strength to strengthen others. When you reach a level of success, reach back and pull someone else up. When you see potential in someone, call it out. Let them know you see greatness in them. Many people never step into their full potential simply because no one ever told them they could. Building a legacy also means creating opportunities for others. When you succeed, use your position to open doors for people who might not have had access before. Mentor someone, teach someone, connect someone with resources or relationships that can help them grow. The higher you climb, the more responsibility you have to make the path a little easier for those coming after you. This is how generational change happens. You are not just changing your own life. You are changing the lives of everyone connected to you. Another part of helping others is being present for them. In a world full of distractions, giving someone your full attention is rare and powerful. Listen deeply when someone talks to you. Show empathy. Sometimes people don't need advice. They just need to feel heard and understood. By being present, you create a safe space for others to express themselves, and that can be incredibly healing. You also help others by holding them accountable. True support is not just cheering people on when things are easy. It's challenging them when they are capable of more. It's pushing them to rise to their potential even when it's uncomfortable. This doesn't mean being harsh or judgmental. It means caring enough to tell the truth. If you see someone drifting off course, speak up. If you see someone settling for less than they deserve, remind them of their worth. Accountability done with love is one of the greatest gifts you can give. Helping others doesn't just benefit them, it benefits you. When you serve others, it fills you with a sense of purpose and fulfillment that nothing else can provide. It reminds you why you started your journey in the first place. It gives you energy to keep going because you know that what you are doing matters. On the days when you feel tired or discouraged, remembering the people who are counting on you can reignite your fire. Knowing that your actions might inspire someone else to keep going can push you to dig deeper. Being unstoppable is not just about reaching the top. It's about bringing others with you so that together you can do even more good. Success is sweeter when it is shared. When you celebrate others' wins as much as your own, when you take pride in their progress, you create a culture of growth and empowerment. Instead of competing with others, you collaborate. Instead of trying to outshine them, you shine together. This mindset turns success into something sustainable because it's no longer just about your personal gain. It's about creating impact on a larger scale. Helping others also means leaving something behind that outlives you. This could be a business you built, a foundation you started, a book you wrote, a lesson you taught your children, or simply the way you live your life that continues to inspire others long after you're gone. Legacy is not just about wealth, it's about wisdom, values, and principles that carry on through the lives you touched. When you become unstoppable, you are not just working for today. You are working for the future. There will be times when helping others feels inconvenient, when you feel too busy, too tired, or too focused on your own goals. But those are often the moments that matter most. You never know how one small act of kindness might change someone's life. A word of encouragement, a gesture of support, a simple smile. These things may seem small to you, but they can mean the world to someone else. And the beautiful thing is, the more you give, the more you grow. Serving others expands your heart, strengthens your character, and reminds you of what truly matters. Helping others doesn't mean neglecting yourself. You cannot pour from an empty cup. Part of being unstoppable is making sure you are strong enough, healthy enough, and whole enough to give. This is why personal growth is so important. The stronger you are, the more you have to offer. The more wisdom you gain, the more wisdom you can share. The more resources you create, the more you can contribute. Taking care of yourself is not selfish. It is an act of service because it ensures that you can continue to show up for others at your best. When you commit to helping others as part of your journey, you create something far bigger than yourself. Your life becomes about contribution, not just consumption. You stop asking only, what can I give? And start asking, what can I give? This shift transforms you into a force for good that nothing can stop. Obstacles don't just become challenges to overcome for your own sake. They become lessons that you can later share with someone else to help them overcome theirs. Your entire journey becomes more meaningful because every step you take has the potential to inspire and empower others. This is the ultimate level of being unstoppable. When your mission is not just about your own success, but about changing lives. When you reach this point, there is nothing that can stop you because you are no longer doing it just for yourself. You are doing it for everyone who is watching, everyone who is counting on you, everyone who needs to see that it's possible. That sense of responsibility gives you a strength you didn't even know you had. And when your life becomes a light for others, that light continues to shine, even in the darkest times. That is legacy. That is impact. That is what it truly means to be unstoppable. This is where everything we've talked about comes together, because becoming unstoppable is not about a single moment, a single choice, or a single burst of motivation. It's about making a lifelong commitment to yourself that no matter what comes, no matter how hard it gets, no matter how many times you fall, you will keep getting back up until you reach where you're meant to be. It's about building a mindset that says, I refuse to quit, and living every single day like you have something to prove, not to others, but to yourself. You have to look in the mirror and remind yourself daily why you started, why you can't stop, and why you must keep going. There will be days where you feel tired, where you feel like nobody sees your effort, where you feel like nothing is working. But you must keep going anyway, because those are the days that separate the ordinary from the unstoppable. When you decide to become unstoppable, you're no longer negotiating with life. You're no longer asking for permission to be great. You take responsibility for everything, your actions, your mistakes, your future. You don't wait for perfect timing because there's no perfect timing. You don't wait for people to support you because sometimes they won't. You stop relying on motivation and start relying on consistency, because consistency is what compounds into results. And when you look back one day, you will realize that it was not the big moments that made you unstoppable. It was the small daily choices. It was waking up when you wanted to sleep in. It was staying focused when everyone else was distracted. It was saying no to things that didn't serve your mission. It was showing up every single day with the mindset of a winner. Being unstoppable means you stop fearing failure, because failure is part of the process. Every single person who has ever achieved greatness has failed, sometimes more than they succeeded, but they refused to let failure define them. They used it as fuel, as a lesson, as a stepping stone to grow stronger. When you become unstoppable, you stop seeing obstacles as dead ends and start seeing them as tests. Every challenge becomes an opportunity to prove to yourself how bad you want it. Every setback becomes a chance to reinvent yourself, to find another way, to push harder. Life will throw storms at you, but you must become the kind of person who learns to dance in the rain, who learns to find strength in the middle of chaos, who learns to keep fighting no matter how heavy the burden becomes. And here's the truth. Becoming unstoppable is not about being fearless. It's about feeling the fear and moving forward anyway. It's about stepping into discomfort because that's where growth happens. It's about pushing past the limits you once thought were permanent and discovering that you were capable of so much more than you imagined. It's about looking at the version of yourself from yesterday and saying, will outwork you today. You don't compete with others. You compete with yourself, and that competition never ends. Every single day you wake up, you have an opportunity to rewrite your story, to go a little further, a little harder, to work a little harder, to get a little stronger. Becoming unstoppable is also about surrounding yourself with the right energy. You cannot afford to spend your time with people who don't believe in growth, who don't believe in discipline, who don't believe in you have to protect your environment. Because your environment shapes your habits, your mindset, your future. You must seek out those who challenge you, who inspire you, who push you to level up. And even when you have to walk alone for a season, you keep walking because you know where you are going and you refuse to let loneliness stop you from reaching your destination. There will be moments when quitting feels easier. There will be moments when nobody claps for you, when nobody sees the grind, when the weight of life feels unbearable. But those moments are your defining moments. That is where character is built. That is where your inner warrior is forged. You must embrace those moments and let them sharpen you, because every champion has walked through fire, and it's the fire that made them who they are. You will be misunderstood, doubted, even ridiculed, but you must not break. You must remember that the same people who doubt you today may one day tell your story as inspiration. The key to becoming unstoppable is to stop waiting and start living. Too many people are waiting for the right time, waiting for the right opportunity, waiting for someone to come save them. But no one is coming. You are the one who has to make the move. You are the one who has to decide that today is the day you change everything. And when you do, when you fully commit, when you burn the bridges that lead back to the old you, there is no going back. That's when momentum kicks in. That's when your habits align with your goals, your actions align with your words, and your results begin to show. And when you finally taste the reward of not quitting, when you finally see what happens when you refuse to stop, you will understand why it was worth it. You will understand why every sleepless night, every sacrifice, every tear, every setback, every disappointment was necessary. Because it shaped you into someone who can handle the blessing when it arrives. It turns you into someone who not only wins, but knows how to keep winning. So this is my challenge to you. Decide today that you will become unstoppable. Not tomorrow, not next week, not when life feels easier. Right now, decide that no matter how long it takes, no matter how hard it gets, no matter how lonely it feels, you will not quit until you see the results you came for. Decide that the person you are becoming is worth the pain, worth the sacrifice, worth the discipline. And once you make that decision, live it out every single day. When you do, something powerful happens. People will start to notice the change in you. Opportunities will start to open up. You will start to attract things and people that align with your vision. And most importantly, you will start to respect yourself in a way you never have before, because you will know you kept your promise to yourself. That is the ultimate victory. That is what makes you unstoppable. Now go out there and live like the world cannot hold you back. Go out there and give everything you got, because life is too short to live half-hearted. Show up with passion, show up with purpose, show up with persistence. And when the world sees you, let them see what it looks like when someone refuses to quit. Let them see what it looks like when someone decides to become unstoppable.